Day 1306, let's not forget, of the Trump administration. 78 days until the presidential election, night one of the Democratic National Convention. Because of the pandemic that's still spreading across our country, this was, as you know, the first ever Zoom meeting of a convention. As of tonight, there have been, lest we need the reminder, over 5.4 million cases of coronavirus discovered in our country, with over 171,000 of our fellow citizens dead. The pandemic was, of course, a major topic in tonight's convention. Tonight's keynote speaker, as you've been hearing, former First Lady Michelle Obama, said President Trump downplayed the virus for too long, and she added this.
As honest and clear as I possibly can. Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what it is.
Here for our leadoff discussion on this very busy Monday night, Phil Rucker, Pulitzer Prize-winning White House bureau chief for The Washington Post, co-author, along with his stable colleague Carol Leonnig, of the bestseller A Very Stable Genius. Also with us, Claire McCaskill, former Democratic senator from the great state of Missouri, and Erin Haynes, 10-year veteran of the Associated Press, where she last covered race and society. These days, she is editor-at-large for The 19th, a nonprofit, nonpartisan newsroom focused on gender, politics, and policy. It's up. Go look at it. Good evening and welcome to you all. Senator, it strikes me that during normal times, I would have made my way down to the Missouri delegation at some point and interviewed one Claire McCaskill. I would ask you whether or not you think the American people have 4 nights of this in them, what you thought of the format, and what you thought of the former First Lady.
Well, I don't know if America has 4 nights of this in them. I thought it was pretty effective. I thought that the music was terrific. I think there was an ability to message with the video clips that I think really was quite powerful. And then there's Michelle. Wow. Now, the thing I missed most about not having a convention tonight, a real convention, was the response her speech would have taken a lot longer. Because there would, as you know, there would have been many interruptions of people expressing a great deal of affirmation about what she said. And I got to tell you, her speech was so effective because she didn't frontally go after Donald Trump. As Nicole just said, it was epic shade, but it was elegant shade. I mean, a couple of the lines that struck me, Joe Biden has lived a life the rest of us can recognize. Well, that is really shade for Donald Trump, because we all know he's lived a life that most of us don't recognize. And then she said that Joe Biden has humility and maturity we long for. Once again, pointing out that we've got a guy in the White House who wouldn't know humble if it hit him upside the head, and it has the maturity of a 12-year-old. So I think that she did a really good job of not only calling everyone to action, but doing the character analysis of the 2 candidates. And on that score, of course, I think she came in very strong for Joe Biden.
Hey, Claire, what'd you think of Kasich and his presence at this gathering tonight? When I saw that earlier today the president called him a loser, and when I read that tonight Chris Christie called him a backstabber and exhausting, I realized that at least it hit its hoped-for target.
Yeah, I think the Republicans who support Donald Trump are obviously going to do nothing but rail on him. I think it was courageous for him to do it. It was interesting to me that we had around 15 speakers tonight, and not that many of them were white men, and one of the white men was a Republican. So it really was a diverse group of speakers tonight, including ideology, everything from John Kasich, Meg Whitman, all the way to Bernie Sanders.
Hey, Erin, I think regular citizens would be forgiven for having forgotten Michelle Obama started life as a Princeton, Harvard law person. That Michelle Obama is the Michelle Obama that showed up tonight. Talk about the role you think she will play after tonight, perhaps live and not on video, as this, whatever this campaign is going to look like, continues.
Well, Brian, no, I actually think that you saw a little bit of Michelle LaVaughn Robinson tonight. I mean, yes, she still reiterated that 2016 catchphrase that caught on of when they go low, we go high. But tonight she went in, and without calling the president hardly by name at all, she made the case for why he was not as good as his predecessor, and why she thinks, that the person that she hopes is going to be his successor should be in the White House in November. She spoke as a Black woman who has said things that I hear Black women saying when they are rallying and organizing to vote in their community, in their family. The plan that she laid out to people, telling them, get your ballot early. If you have to stand in line, take a snack, be prepared to wait in line. I mean, this is what Black women do headed into an election, telling people in their network, the importance of casting their ballot. You saw all of that on display tonight, in addition to a program leading up to her speech that was centered on voters and really laying out the stakes of this election in terms of the dual pandemics of coronavirus and racism, the threat of voter suppression that is happening, through the post office. I'm thinking about when she said, we know what's going on in this country is just not right. I mean, that was a message not necessarily meant to speak to the base, but for some of those people who maybe would have read her book or come to her book tour, right? Maybe didn't vote for her husband, but resonate with her and believe and trust her. And so I really think, as I wrote tonight on the 19th, that the becoming vote is a thing that could be activated tonight by one of the most popular people in this country, that being our former First Lady.
There is indeed a reason why she is always at number 1 or 2 most popular women in the world. Hey, Phil Rucker, how do we measure the effect of this gathering on Donald Trump?
Well, I think the next 24 hours are going to tell the story, Brian. We have not seen the president tonight, live tweeting his responses, but we know he's been watching. We know he's going to be consuming the television coverage, as he always does. And he might put on a display of exactly what Michelle Obama was talking about in terms of attacking those who were criticizing him on stage tonight. And the former First Lady has gotten a lot of attention, which I think she delivered probably the most searing indictment anybody has delivered of the Trump presidency all of these years. But there was an earlier moment as well that I think has the potential to really get at Donald Trump. And that was the young woman from Arizona who talked about her father, 65 years old, who died of COVID after going to a karaoke bar in May after the state of Arizona started to reopen. And she had one quote that I think we're going to hear a lot again. And it was that her father only had one pre-existing condition, and that was trusting Donald Trump. So directly blaming his death on the president. And that is something that I suspect the president is not too keen to hear.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.